Employers ask me, what is going on? We have all sorts of programs to hire a more diverse team of engineers, and we do hire them. But after 6 months, they quit or they move into marketing, and we still don't have a diverse team of engineers. Or we try to hire diverse faculty, but we can't find ones with the qualifications we need. What should we do? I'm Leslie Martinich, a longtime IEEE volunteer. I've worked with organizations around the world to help them improve their diversity and inclusion efforts and to help them build more productive teams. Is the goal to have diversity just for diversity's sake? No. People are different, and people have different problem-solving approaches. Why then is there a push to hire more women and people of color? Is it about social justice? Is it a corporate mandate? Do the employees think that trying to hire and retain a diverse workforce is a good idea? I don't think so. Very likely they're indifferent to the idea. So why not? Why not hire a diverse workforce? Well, the organization has tried it already and the people just quit. Sometimes there are lawsuits, morale goes down, and it's expensive to hire people and then just have to replace them. This costs a lot of money, especially when there are lawsuits involved. If you hire someone who is different from most of the people on the team and you fail to make them feel a part of the team, they leave, and that costs money. Some organizations have had a big push to hire more women, minorities, people who are different from their current staffs, and leaders of those organizations have asked me, why are we having so much trouble retaining the women engineers? Why are the very people we've gone out of our way to hire leaving? There's the rub. People they have hired to increase their diversity have quit, and others who were already there have quit too. Specifically women. And now that the company has a bit of a reputation problem, word gets out that it's not a good place for women to work. So why do people quit? Well, in the case I'm thinking of, they don't feel included or respected. In some cases, their bosses actively denigrate them, saying something like, "Oh, this is a technical problem, you wouldn't understand that," to a woman with a master's degree in electrical engineering. Not so good. Here's another reason not to hire a diverse workforce. People like the way their organization currently is, and they don't want to change it. They don't like change. The way I see it, we have two distinct problems. One, employees and leaders have not really bought into the idea that they should have diverse teams, in part because it seems like just another organizational initiative. And two, the diverse talent that does get hired does not really feel included or respected, so they leave, creating a vicious circle and a big expense. So let's talk about the research around problem solving. Research consistently shows that we solve problems faster and come up with better solutions when we use multiple problem-solving approaches. And where do we get these multiple problem-solving approaches? People with different backgrounds. I think we can all agree that the truth is that we are better at solving problems when we employ multiple problem-solving approaches. I once had a team with a variety of people. Two of them, Lee and Jan, shared an office. We were working on the development of a radical innovation, a software development project, which changed the way devices could work together to produce results. And as with all radical innovations, there are plenty of unexpected problems that show up. Lee is right here. She's a very, very quiet woman from China who thought through the problem to be solved before she started writing even line 1 of the code. Jan, he's right here, a man from Eastern Europe, was what we call a cowboy coder. He jumped right in and started trying things out, typing away. Normally their office was very, very quiet. But when one of them would get stuck, the other one was able to break through the stuckedness, Jan by just jumping in and trying things out that Lee had not yet thought of, and Lee by thinking through whatever problem was vexing Jan and then presenting him with an approach he hadn't tried. Not only were they more productive, but also their code was flawless. I want to point out something that was absolutely necessary for people with such different problem-solving approaches and different backgrounds to work well together. The first is respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, and the second one is trust. Respect is the key to success with diversity and productivity, and trust is another key to success. In any case, this whole team respected one another. So here we had a whole team, everybody was respectful. No one quit their job, and they all claimed that it was the best team they've ever been on. So how did that happen? The culture of our group was such that when a person would provide ideas, others would pay attention. Pay attention. Every person was engaged. When we first learned of the project, I gathered everyone into a conference room. We discussed the project. We tried to figure out how we would solve it, what had to come first, etc. And then I enlisted them, engage and enlist. I enlisted them in dividing the work up into week-long or so chunks of work. And then we put it together in the schedule. And if Sue told me that she needed 3 days to complete one part, I knew that she'd get called out into meetings or need to handle requests from others or some help for some other team. So I said, if Sue said I need 3 days to complete part 1, then I said, well, what if we put down 6 days? Would that work for you? And of course she says, heck yeah, 6 days, that works. I thought I only needed 3. Everyone bought into the schedule because they built it. They owned it. I had enlisted their help in building it. People felt acknowledged. They felt recognized for their accomplishments. Everyone could see what they were doing and how they were doing on it. We posted the schedule on a large interior glass window facing into a conference room, and anyone could see it just by walking by. Everyone could see that Rose was ahead of schedule and that Charles had just completed a big central chunk of the work. People felt respected. I mentioned that Lee and I mentioned that Lee and Jan had gone to the same grad school, so they had a common background, which gave them a great deal of respect for one another. If you want a way to expand respect, ask people to tell something about themselves that others don't know. In my workshops, I've learned that one woman was the head engineer on the USS Cole in the year 2000, when terrorists blew up a small boat next to that ship, causing the deaths of 17 and causing significant structural damage. Being the chief engineer, that's something to respect. In another workshop, I learned that a participant had built a helicopter in his garage. That's worth some respect. And it's worth a question. How the heck are you going to get that helicopter out of your garage? The other thing is we listen to one another. People were not ignored. When someone offered an idea, it would get serious consideration. These behaviors, like paying attention, engaging, and acknowledging, respecting, listening, are learnable. Like learning to tie your shoes. You try it a few times until you get it. You keep practicing, and then you know how to do that for the rest of your life. So now, if you've learned something, if this talk has been valuable to you, you can give me some feedback. You can thank me and give me some feedback. It takes just 2 minutes. Just click on the QR code and let me know what you think. And then to thank you, I've got a nice infographic about these pearls of wisdom, the pay attention, engage and enlist, acknowledge, respect, listen, and so on. Simply go to the website here, listed here, or just click the QR code. And if you click the QR code, you don't even have to type it in, but if you go to the website, you have to type it in IEEE Day to get started. And I'll give you a couple minutes, and then when you're done, we'll wrap up with some words of wisdom for you to deploy on your current project and some good news for you too. Okay, let's get back and go through a few more things. So the first question is, why should you want a diverse team? Well, clearly a diverse team with respect and trust is a more productive team. Faster problem solving leads to better productivity. It's evident that a diverse team is a more productive team. And in order to retain your team, remember to be inclusive. Make the people feel respected, acknowledged, and engaged. Listen to them. Pay attention to them. And remember, you can hire for diversity, but if the person doesn't feel acknowledged and engaged and respected, it's not going to work. And that turns into a nasty spiral where the employees say, yeah, it didn't work with so-and-so, so I give up. What would it be like if everyone felt respected? What would it be like if you felt your boss respected you? He asks for your ideas and actually listens. How does it feel when you feel included and appreciated? Good, right? Right? So what would it be like if everyone felt engaged and acknowledged and everyone felt seen and heard? That would feel very good, wouldn't it? So I encourage you to be the guy or the person who practices your communication skills. And if you'd like help, I'm here. So thank you very much. And I hope you'll be in touch.